Yes. You have enough chairs down there? That's after everything at the end. I'd like to go ahead and call to order. Today is Monday, May 21st, the Council Budget and Finance Committee hearings for fiscal year 2018-2019, operating budget hearings. To the audience, viewers, Metro Department heads and personnel, Budget and Finance Committee members, and Metro Council members, I want to also take this opportunity to publicly thank the Director of Finance, Ms. Lomax O'Neill, and her team and council staff for working so diligently to ensure that we have our materials. Remember, today we'll be discussing the operating budget only. Per rule, we will not consider any resolution as it relates to capital improvements. In consideration of time, Budget and Finance Committee members will be recognized first. Time permitting, other council members will be recognized. If there are additional questions, council members, please send those to Danielle, copying myself and Mr. Jameson, to respective department heads, and we'll compile the questions and answers and have those uploaded to the SharePoint. With that said, we have before us Metropolitan Development and Housing Agency, MDHA, and Mr. Harbison, your budget works a little different, so the floor is yours.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Is this on? Good. Well, we are, perhaps we must have misread the invitation. We are not part of your operating budget at all. So that makes for an easy conversation on operating budget. We love your present budget. Good job. But I would like to talk to and take this opportunity on the spending plan. If you'll just forgive me and entertain us for a few minutes, we'd like to preview your follow-on discussions, and to that effect is a letter on your table. So, ladies and gentlemen, MDHA is not part of your operating budget, but we do find ourselves in a moment when there's a broad recognition across our city of the real need for affordable housing. It's not always been this way. Today, virtually every leader in the city, private, public, nonprofit, well understands the need we have for this need for affordable housing in our growing city, in our changing neighborhoods. And they're looking to Metro government and to our agency to find a way forward to do something substantive, measurable about affordable housing. I think there's consensus on that. What's not so clear to many folks is how best to move forward in this dynamic housing market. We know the very term affordable housing can be very confusing to the layman. That's partly because it's a very complicated subject. We live that every day at MDHA, but also because there are in fact different definitions across our city of what affordable housing really means. If you're a resident of MDHA housing, one definition. If you're the person in a residential neighborhood that's been changed by new development and rising rents, different definition. Or if you're a commercial developer capable of adding to Nashville's supply of housing in the affordable space, whole separate definition. But the good news is this: of all the moving parts, all the definitions, the important part of this puzzle that we can do something about as a municipal government and as an agency are the parts in our request for inclusion in the capital spending plan for the coming year. In the interest of time, I'll mention just three important examples, each of them deeply affecting the quality of life in our great city. The first is our initiative called Envision Casey. I think you all know about. We've presented to you before. Happy to come back and give you updates. This provides $13 million in our request to provide 240 mixed income units, including new affordable housing, new workforce housing, new market rate housing, and we'll leverage those funds to $52 million with debt equity and equity from MDHA. Another makes substantial real progress in the envisioned Suticum-Napier neighborhood through purchasing key properties that are essential as we move forward to recapitalize that site. And a final example that also speaks to the important quality of life in Nashville, the part we all enjoy so much, and that is meeting our obligation in our public-private partnership with the Frist Art Museum. These are concrete steps we can take together, administration, council, MDHA, to help move the needle on affordable housing in our city and meet quality of life goals that are important. And MDHA, please take this away. We want to help you programmatically, systematically, measurably, in your leadership on concrete aspects of how Nashville can address these needs. So respectfully, although my timing's not the best, because I thought this was a capital submission, and I misread the notice.
It's okay.
We respectfully ask for your support in moving these opportunities forward in the coming year. I'm joined this evening by Mr. Billy Frist, who's the chairman of the board of the Frist Art Museum. I'd ask him to appear to emphasize the importance and the amounts of money they'll leverage to our ask to fix what is a really emergent crisis at the Frist Art Museum, where we do have a great public-private partnership. I'm eager to answer your questions afterwards, and thank you for listening. So, Billy?
Thank you, Jim. As Jim was saying, I'm sure you all know that this Frist Art Museum, as now we say, in the Learning Visual Arts Center, is a community asset. It is the city's. It was founded on the principle of the public-private partnership, and we appreciate that. We want, as far as we being representing the Frist Art Museum, we want to continue to be a huge asset to the community. And each year, I think we've become more and more about that piece, that valuable piece of your community. What we have today, though, we have a beautiful, wonderful building that's now an art museum that is, as often happens, have some maintenance issues. In this case, we have some very expensive decorative historical windows that we're going to have to take down. It's a safety issue. We had a 25 piece of fall down like 2 years ago, and we have no choice. And then with the blasting going on, we have to accelerate it. But it is a large expense, but that's okay, because this building's going to be, it's been here a long time. We want to be here another 100 years. So if love for you, have your support and continue on to this partnership with us together. And with Jim, we'd be happy to answer any questions.
And with that, Chair,
I'll open up for council members that want to seek recognition. Councilman Pridemore.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Director, for being here. I'll try to formulate this question into operational. So it's in years past, in early years past, my first years on the council, and former council lady Karen Bennett and I discussed the affordable housing issue and some initiatives coming out into the Madison area. And I noticed at that time there were some justifiable reasons as to why. Now that I've seen that you've kind of expanded out into other areas of Nashville, has that policy changed as far as what's available in order to assisting the bed outside the urban core?
well, the short answer is no. The things we have to live with are federal constraints on specific programs. But for all of our project-based vouchers, one of our biggest programs, absolutely available. Our housing choice vouchers are placed out there. Mr. Thilgen, my deputy, lives out there, so we got good eyes on all the time. We have a great tower out there we just finished the upgrade on and complete remodeling. It has been transferred under the rental assistance demonstration program. You knew I couldn't go without saying that. It's now fee simple title owned by MDHA, and we'll be looking at ways to take advantage of that. Where we do have some restrictions on our home and community-based community development block grants, in that they are tied to census tracts of low income. And not all of those out there have low income. So some of our home funds, some of our CDBG funds, the CDBG funds are not for new construction, but for homeowner rehab and other things, are tied to census tract districts. And that would depend on on the incomes in those census tract districts. But we are here for the county. I know that Nancy and you and others have already talked to me that when we're successful with Syracuse, Councilmember Syracuse's Transportation-Oriented Redevelopment District, which sets aside $10 million dedicated for 60% AMI and below housing, requires any developer in that district to set aside 10% of these units at 60% AMI and below, that we are certainly looking at that corridor as one of the next opportunities to use affordable housing within the Transportation-Oriented Redevelopment District program. So we're big fans and looking forward to working with you.
And we are looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Prodmore. Council Lady Allen.
Thank you. This may be a similar question. Recently, y'all were able to use some of the $25 million that was dedicated to, if I understood this right, rescue a project-based rental assistance project that had the potential to go luxury condos or whatever, which we've seen happen. Is that a possible mechanism to also use for existing naturally occurring affordable housing just in apartment complexes that have not been updated in a while, that aren't necessarily using that program now, but could those be translated to those if someone were paying attention and saw one that we couldn't save, but we could transfer to those? And is that also tied to census tract income levels?
Okay,
Complicated question, sorry.
No, if I understand the question, you're asking about Trevecca Towers 1 and 2.
Right.
Which, in my way of thinking, thank you, Council, thank you, Tennessee Housing Development Agency, thank you, HUD. We had some administrative part in that. For this group, you should understand, you saved 567 apartments fully subsidized, and they're going to be there forever. For elderly families that would have had no option if the private developer that was the alternative had won and went market. If you liked James Robertson at 73 units when that happened as an affordable housing advocate, you would have been really, eager about what could have happened there. But the tool that is there is your tool. It's one that you've wisely passed. I know many of you have asked questions about it. It's the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Payment in lieu of Taxes program.
Okay.
That is available to anyone that receives from THDA either a 4% or 9% low-income housing tax credit, a program they run on behalf of the Department of the Treasury. So it applies to for-profit, nonprofit. We have a great one over Paddock at Grandview is a good example. They receive this package, so it's available throughout the county to anyone, but you've got to get the LIHTC first. Did that answer your question?
Nope, that's a good other answer.
Okay.
So PBRA. Right. I thought Trevecca was a PBRA example.
It is a PBRA.
Okay, and so
it's all in one. Yeah.
All in one. So we maintain that. My question is it? I see some apartment complexes in my area that are exactly the same that they were 30 years ago, and it's either and right now the rents are. It's probably the only affordable housing in my part of town. And I'm sure there's a bullseye on it saying, come redevelop, turn me into luxury condos. Is there any way to, if there is PBRA that we risk losing, to try to transfer it to some of those in parts of town that are not going to have any options very soon?
So if I understand the question, project-based rental assistance run by HUD, there's roughly 5,400 apartments, private owners here in Nashville. You may do transfer of assistance from one project to another. It is difficult. But it can be done. But you have to have at least three willing partners. You have to have the new owner willing to take on the contract and accept assignment. You have to have the old owner willing to give it up in a timely way, and HUD has to agree.
Gotcha.
And when I was the director at HUD, I probably approved 3 in 4 years. So it's very infrequent. It is time consuming, but the sales item to the community is you preserve minimum rents of $75 a month. The sales item to the developer owner is the federal government becomes essentially your tenant, and you get a wire transfer for the balance between that 75 and fair market rents. And through a thing called mark to market, where you establish the rent you receive, you can always grow your gross revenue. So it's a great program.
So it's adjustable.
But it's difficult to transfer, but it can be done.
Can be done. Okay, that was my question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council Lady Allen. Council Lady Hurd.
Thank you, Mr. Harbison, for all that you all do. I'm looking at the new constructions that you're doing at Casey and Envision, Napier, and Sutica, and all of those, and the mixed income housing. I'm concerned about really having housing for those residents who are there now. I understand for some of the workforce and affordable housing that's going on now with some of the newly constructed housing units that you've built, it's upwards $1,100-1,200, and there are not very many people in Nashville who can afford that much in rent. So I'm wondering, how are you going to this mixed use, mixed income? Is it going to be for those individuals as well? And if not, how are you going to determine who gets it and who does not?
Well, first of all, yes, it is. The whole point of mixed income is that concentrated poverty doesn't work. People can disagree with me on that. There's lots of evidence that it's not a good idea. So our entire approach for mixed income redevelopment is to improve the lives of people of low income. And I think there are two parts to your question. The first is, what happens to the people that live there now? They're all guaranteed to get their apartments, keep their apartments. That's done under the project-based rental assistance contract we have with HUD through the RAD program, and we get checked every year. So at Casey, we've got, 90, so we've got right at 300 units under construction. We have not had to displace anyone yet. And how do we do that? We built in the open spaces and bought land adjacent to Casey to build upon. And so part of our request that you'll see is for funding to buy land adjacent to Napier Sudicum so we can do the same thing. If you have open land, you build there first. It is mixed income. You move people from the old apartments that are low income into the new ones, and they never are burdened. That's our ultimate goal. The other way we do it is a bit of a science project, but we have about a 10% turnover per year, and you can hold units open. So between those two tools, we don't intend to displace anyone, and we have not had to do so yet. There will probably come a point in time when we have to issue a voucher or move someone somewhere else, but it hasn't happened yet. And then the other question is, how do we grow? How do we get more of the 60, 80%, the very low income? There's only one organization really that provides both 80% area median income and ensures the resident does not pay more than 30%, and that's us or the PBRA. So we have 1,000 units of fully subsidized federal apartments that when we build them, they will be fully subsidized, and we can expand that inventory across the community and expand that for the very low income. And now, of course, I think we've had this conversation, but those people of very low income, if you're below the poverty line, you pay $75. And the federal government pays the difference up to the fair market rent. We have 1,000 of those subsidies that I inherited that we can exploit. We put another 70 at the Barrett Manor. That was our first new subsidized apartments.
Okay, I have one, and I know this may be out of the box thinking, but I know that Fisk University has a dormitory that was once called Scribner Hall. And it's sitting on campus and it's not being utilized. And I'm wondering if we could take some money and fix that up, because it has been built for living purposes. And we put people there and help Fisk in terms of providing them with funding that they need in order to keep the university going, but and maybe by some selection, families who have children who are high school age and they having a direct opportunity to be on a college campus and matriculate into that college. Is that something that could be explored, and it helps the students, it helps the parents, it helps the university, and it helps the city?
I just want everybody to know we did not script this, okay? So I didn't give her a question for me to answer. Frank Sims, Mr. Sims, signed a memorandum of agreement with us to co-develop the two campuses and found it the best way to take Andrew Jackson, which we just recently had transferred to us from HUD, and work with them. We finished a master plan about 6 months ago, and Dr. Jerome and I are discussing now how we do just that. As I walk from Andrew Jackson there from the Boys and Girls Club and walk up to Fisk, everyone says, well, we need role models. And then you walk on Fisk, and there they are. It's like from Central Casting. Right. And then you talk to the students, you know, the ones that don't think I'm a Mormon preacher trying to convert them or something. You talk to the students, and they go, we'd really like to get involved. So that is absolutely an area we'd love to take your assistance to explore. We haven't decided where our next envisioning planning effort will go yet, but I think certainly Andrew Jackson is a likely candidate. We're about to finish Sudicum Napier, and then we'll have staff bandwidth to move on over there, we think. There's another alternative that I know Mr. Hastings is very interested in us looking at too. But it's a wonderful idea, and we've made some concrete steps already in the MOA and an initial master plan with Fisk.
Thank you, Council Lady. Councilman Hastings.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to thank you guys for being here, and also I just wanted to just say thank you for continuing on this affordable housing source, because we really do need help in that area. And I know we have a lot of things, and we have been working in the past on several things. And I know I have a public housing facility within my district, which I'm sure we'll be talking about when it comes to capital, right? So, but other than that, that is a continual push, because people don't have a place to live here in our city. So that's a big push for me, and we're going to continue to work on that until we get it right, all right? And I would like to, again, thank you very much for being here today.
All right, Councilman. Seeing no other council members seeking recognition, Mr. Harbison, thank you so much for coming before us today. And just for the viewing audience, MDHA operates a little differently from the other respective departments that you've actually seen. While they are stepping down, if community education can begin working your way up, thank you so much. And